So true. Whiskey 6-1 makes a great point. He points out Chicago at 0.9. So when you look at the giveaways per game, Chicago was 7th best in the league, right? Yep. But again, this is where it's important to look at all the metrics. Yes, they protected the football, but at what cost? Caleb Williams taking 7-second sacks, 4.5-second sacks, 5-second sacks, and killing their drives, right? So again, if you look at the giveaways, but then you go to the yards, the passing yards per attempt, if I can find it here. So remember, they were not than that. They're nowhere to be found on passing yards per pass attempt, right? So what does that tell you? He was just eating sacks and refusing to turn the ball over. That doesn't help you either. That means you're not seeing the field. You're not playing on time. Now, they blame the coaches and said they weren't teaching how to watch film properly. The excuses are gone this year. Okay, they're gone.
Did you guys
get ready to go?
Did you get in the chat? Let me know if you got a chance to go and listen to Ryan's podcast where Ross Tucker, again, he highlighted Ross Tucker, and Ross Tucker said, really? Caleb Williams is going to throw every coach and coaching staff he's ever had under the bus, saying that Lane Kiffin never showed him how to watch film. Mm-hmm. Are you really going to say that you got to the NFL through the collegiate level into the NFL, and that you need to be told what to watch when you're on film? Like, that's your excuse? Yeah. Honestly, like that as much as I give him a bunch of crap about being, the fancy boy and all that kind of stuff, that was insane that was his response. I was like, oh, holy crap, dude. Like,
I'm going to tell you something. It wasn't Lane Kiffin either, Jacob. I know you're talking about the USC coach, came from Oklahoma. I want to say something about him. Emilio, keep that thought, okay? Because I want to hear what you were about to say. But USC coach Lincoln Riley.
I'm sorry, Lincoln Riley. My bad.
Riley. Let me tell you what Lincoln Riley did. And I'm a Notre Dame fan, so there's a big rivalry between USC and Notre Dame, which, by the way, seems like it's going away because now they're too chicken you-know-what to play Notre Dame. We got to reevaluate if we're going to play the Irish every year. Isn't it amazing to make it to the national championship? Now all of a sudden they're not interested in playing the Irish? Funny how that works, right? Anyway, he inherited a program at Oklahoma from Coach Stoops, that was already built. He ran it into the damn ground like the U.S. government, let me tell you. I mean, he completely tanked it, right? Tanks it, and then takes the job at USC, and look at USC now. They can't it's literally a dumpster fire. Now, with that being said, why is Caleb Williams not taking accountability? That was his college coach. Now, I know that they tried to teach him how to watch film, Jacob. I completely agree with what you're saying, but you got a coach in US. I'm probably pissing my USC fans off right now, but you got a coach. That's what you get. That's the byproduct, that picture right there. When you got a coach that runs a program into the ground, then jumps ship, and they're trying to buy up all the prospects they can in USC. And it's funny because the USC fans were talking trash to us Notre Dame fans going, look at all the 5-stars we got committed. They're all now changing their commitment.
Yep.
Because those commitments don't mean anything. The Irish, what they do is they tell their prospects, listen, bub, don't you commit until you're ready to commit, until you're ready to sign. You go explore all your options, and when you're ready, you come let us know. But we don't play that wishy-washy crap. I think there's something to that with Caleb Williams. The culture, he played for him at Oklahoma, then he followed him to USC, and they both grossly underperformed at both programs, in my opinion. Yes, he won a Heisman. I got you. But I'm telling you, man, when he came into the league last year, you guys heard me during the draft process. I would take Jaden Daniels over Caleb Williams. And this is why. You get this pouty, non-accountability. Again, you're just going to hold the ball for 6 seconds, take a sack, and then lay on the field all dramatic. Like, why is my offensive lineman suck? Anyway, Emilio, go ahead. You probably forgot about it.
No, I was just going to say the Ross Tucker point. I mean, and he was saying, he's like, dude, I went to Princeton. You don't think that, like, I watch tape by myself sometimes? Like, yeah, they care about us, but it's like you're going to watch tape alone. There's no way you can complain about that. And the fact that he was saying that he went out, said this, you can think this, all right, cool, but you went out and said this to a journalist who's going to write a story about this, knowing that it's already all happened, already all in the past, and you're still going out talking about this. I mean, that's something that you got to deal with as a head coach. You got to bring it to, I mean, come on, dude. Like, what are you doing? You're carrying the C if you're trying to, but it's not working for me.
Yeah. And then Holmes says, Williams didn't even want to be a bear, WTF. How can you trust that? Yep. Okay. It's a great point. That's another, how many negative things are going to pile up? Like him losing in the college, in that college game, his final college game, and climbing into his mother's arms and crying. Yeah. And it's like, and again, I'm going to be very vocal about this. To me, it's not about the crying. It's about you're the leader of that organization. You're the general. You're the CEO. You are the starting quarterback. And everybody in that locker room feels just as bad, if not worse than you. And your first instinct isn't, let me go be with my teammates. It's, where's mom? That's not a good look. I'm just telling you. Mm-hmm. And if you think for a second, people in that Chicago Bears locker room isn't thinking the same thing when they see him laying on the field and being dramatic after a sack, that they're all going, how long do we got to block back here for this idiot? Right. They got to be thinking that in the back of their mind.
I got some advice for y'all. Take 2 weeks off, then quit.
And then you look up and you see this on the sideline.
Yeah.
So anyway, go ahead, Jake.
No, I was just going to ask him. Obviously, you listened to it, Emilio. I had rarely seen Ross. Ross Tucker does not usually call out people like that, and he does not call out organizations. He specifically ended that convo being like, hey, to a Bears radio show, which is hilarious. He's like, if I was a Bears fan, honestly, I'd be not happy, like right now with the progression of where he's at. And then he went on to say too, like Clayton just said, the guy has his dad basically funnel in his press conferences to a point where it was like, yeah,
it's weird. It's
weird, man. What do you think, Emilio?
Yeah, no, and I think you're right. He really did get heated on the topic. It was his take of the week, whatever beer he's drinking, it was that take. And it's like, dude, he was like legitimately, he talked to Jack about it. He brought it up before, after. He talked to Greg Cosell about it. He brought it up on the draft show. Like, he brought it up on almost every one of his shows, trying to get your point and your take on what he thinks. And he still wanted to just elaborate on his feeling on it. It's like, dude, that's your job. You're telling me you can't go, and sit there and just put it on in the background. I mean, you could just literally put it on behind the Xbox so you can play Madden and be watching film behind it, and then maybe pick something up.
Oh, exactly. Greg Rice asking the tough questions. If you're going to cry on one of your host's arms, who would you pick?
Tim.
No, I think it'd be Jacob. Jacob's kind of busty over there, man. I think I'd take Jacob. You know what I mean?
Busty.
With that being said, we're out of here. All right.
No way. That's what you're ending it on. Did you at least say thank you to all that served for Memorial Day at the beginning?
That's a good point, Emilio.
What is it?
I said, did you say thank you to all that served for Memorial Day at the beginning?
We hit on it.
Okay, cool.
Yesterday, but why don't you take the floor here? Because I know it's something that's near and dear to you. No, that's a hell of a transition, by the way.
Yeah, my bad. I just didn't want to let it slide. I just wanted to, say thank you to Bates and everyone in the chat and everyone else, all friends, family that have served in the military. Giving their life for this country, absolutely everything we stand for. We wouldn't be here today without it. I think that it's something that's very important. You got to keep them all in your heart and in your prayers and your memories, all of that. Lost a buddy to an IED. So like there's a lot out there that, that we don't deal with on a day-to-day basis that other people are dealing with. So we just got to be thankful for having that freedom and being here in the greatest country.
Amen. Everybody in the chat, y'all hitting it nail on the head. Greg Rice, Memorial Days for those who gave everything. Homes MD1. Thanks for all of our veterans. We need to do better today in this country for all of the sacrifices. God bless. Very well said there, Holmes. Very well said. So,
absolutely.
Again, anyone who's serving right now, I know that's not what Memorial Day is about, but I do know this. We're all not going to live forever. And there's going to be someday that there's a veteran in your life right now that you'll wish you had thanked while they're still on this crazy little world that we live in. So
I would, yeah, like I said the other day, Uncle Dan, Green Beret, Tunnel Rat, Purple Heart, Vietnam, Green Ranger. My great-grandfather, Mr. Henry Borden, was on the USS Indianapolis. So God bless y'all, and absolutely, man. It's more than I'll ever do, I'll tell you that.
Yeah. Bates, our resident Marine here, says, love you guys. Thinking of my buddies who didn't make it home today. Thankful for it all. Amen to that. And, of course, I talked about last night, I had my grandfather served in World War II, had an uncle served in Vietnam. My brother served in the Persian Gulf, in the first Gulf War. And, just it's humbling, man. It's hard not to get emotional. So all we can say is thank you, and it'll never be enough, but really, really appreciate everybody's sacrifices out there. And the ones, like I said, that continue to sacrifice, whether you're in harm's way or not in the current military. If you're watching overseas right now, like Tim's buddy, that's a big fan of the show, I say a buddy, but he's a brother to Tim.
Right.
The way that Tim talks about him is just, man. But everybody that's over there, you're sacrificing being away from your family right now. You know, that's a sacrifice that I don't take lightly. Just being away from the stupid stuff that we get to talk about here. You know, it's just, can never say thank you enough. So
Absolutely.
With that being said, appreciate everybody hanging out with us tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. Probably we're trying to go a little earlier at times. We'll keep it at 7 p.m. Central, but don't be surprised if you see us go live at around 6:30 Central. We'll try to go live a little earlier when it makes sense for all of us. But tomorrow, OTAs, right? So we should.
That's coming fast, man.
That's exciting.
I think they said 27th. They'll be in the building, I believe. Right? I'm showing the date May 28th. Through the 30th.
Is that the first? Is 28th the first day media can be there?
I think it may be. So they'll probably have some pressers and stuff like that. And then I think the 28th, I could be wrong. You guys check that yourself, but the 28th will probably be when they're on the field. Now, with that, you've got the OT or the mandatory mini camp coming up in June as well. So, guys, it's going to be June here in a few days. So we got these OTAs, and then it's mandatory mini camp. And then it's training camp, baby. We made it.
So crazy. So,
it's wild how it flies through. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this show. We appreciate everybody. If you want to support the show, the best way to do so is just be a member of our Patreon community. Just go to patreon.com/Packer Fan Total Access or scan the QR code in the upper right. There should be a link in the video description as well on whatever platform you're watching on, Facebook, YouTube, X, or Rumble. You can also find that Patreon link on my X account at Packers_access if that's easier. $3 tier get you access to everything. You can be a part of an awesome community. It has nothing to do with us. It's all of the listeners in there together collectively throwing ideas around and just having a blast. We'll do giveaways. We're going to be doing an autographed Lucas Van Ness card. We'll be giving that away this coming Saturday. Okay, and I believe it's a rookie card. I'll try to fish a rookie card out of there. And again, shout out to our good friend Rick Kruger, who, much like Jazambi did before, sending a bunch of autographed Packers cards to give away here on the show. You guys are just
so awesome. And one last thing before we go, just want to say congratulations to Cornell University. Jacob, ever heard of it? Won D1 national championship in lacrosse earlier today.
That's a bubble big red bear.
Hey, that's a bubble big red bear. Big
win.
Who? Last time they won it was in the 77, so big, huge win.
There you go.
Sure. I was actually part of a cappella group there at Cornell. It was called Here Comes Trouble. Maybe you've heard of it.
Unbelievable stuff I put up.
Join Patreon. That's what you'll get. I'll drop a stripe.
Give us money.
I'll put a stripe picture in the general chat.
Jacob, would you like to do a quick little promotion for your acapella group? Would you like to do that?
What? Oh, okay. I like it. All right, here we go.
Let's jam it out. Let's take it home the right way.
I was gonna say, let's go.
I don't listen too much Taylor Swift.
Took it down the sideline, turned over my guys, gave the football to a little kid where
65%.
65%.
How about these hands?
Just the tip. Sit your butt outside.